In Ukraine, the painstaking investigation continues at the site of MH17, where it was shot down by a missile, and a sign this tragedy is not stopping the fighting or even the targeting of aircraft overhead. Word that eastern Ukraine separatists shot down 2 Ukrainian fighter jets on Wednesday. CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg joins us from Kiev with more on that part of the story. Roee.
Indeed, those reports coming from defense officials here in Kiev, they say those 2 jets were Su-25s. Those are similar to the jets that were shot down a week ago. Ukraine saying that happened the Wednesday before this one, and that was obviously, of course, one day before MH17 was shot down, as is believed. Now, these Su-25s, Ukraine says, are capable of holding 2 pilots each. They say the pilots ejected before crashing, but they did not reveal the status of their well-being or any additional information. They say that is still classified. Ukraine insists that they were shot, they believe, from the Russian side of the border. One defense official noting that the separatists have capabilities, as far as they know, of shooting only to an altitude of about 1,500 meters. They say that these jets were flying at 5,200 meters over that part of eastern Ukraine in Donetsk region, and they believe that only weapons, advanced missile system in Russia, on the Russian side of the border, is capable of shooting them down. Now, we also heard from Igor Strelkov. He is one of the leaders there in the Donetsk People's Republic, one of the separatist leaders, and he confirmed that his men did indeed shoot down a plane, and they say that one of the pilots did manage to eject before crashing. They didn't have any confirmation at the time about the other flight. All of this, of course, comes amid increasing escalation there, and we saw on some Russian social networking sites, particularly VK, that some what appear to be Russian nationals were posting claims that they attacked, that they shelled eastern Ukraine all night. Those are their words, all through the night. And when those social media posts got a lot of attention, they mysteriously disappeared. But that fulfills Ukrainian suggestions that the attacks are coming from across the border. Those are some strong accusations that Ukraine has been making, not just since these 2 Su-25 jets went down, but also MH17, the Su-25 jet before that, and even AN-26, military cargo plane that was shot down 2 days before that.
Roee, all this fighting is going on while the investigators are trying to work at the crash site. What is the latest there?
Indeed, you can imagine this has been called the world's biggest crime scene, and the fact that there's a war happening right around it, and at times even in the middle of it, makes it all quite complicated. We do know that the train with the bodies left at Torres, about 15 kilometers away from that crash site, went to Donetsk and then went to Kharkiv, where those many of the bodies were flown out. Now, the investigators waiting in Kharkiv, particularly the Malaysians, were expecting, as they were told, that there would be 282 bodies on the train, that number coming from rebel leaders. Now it appears that the bodies they received actually totaled 200, begging the question, where are those other 82 bodies that were supposed to be on the train? And of course, as we know, there were 298 passengers and crew aboard that flight, so a total of 98 are missing. While those fields are full of wheat, they're full of sunflowers, it's spread out over a large distance. We understand from some local officials that they're still waiting for investigators to come to search through the pieces. There are concerns that a lot of the evidence has been tampered, and also coming out on Wednesday night, Reuters providing an exclusive interview, they say, with a lead commander of the Vostok battalion, an ethnic Ukrainian, one of the few ethnic Ukrainian rebel commanders, saying that as far as he knows, at the time of MH17 being downed, not his battalion, but other rebel battalions were in possession of this Buk missile system that Ukraine believed was used to shoot down MH17. He said that he also believes that Ukraine knew that these rebels had that the missile system was in the area of Chechnya, where there had been intense fighting, and that he believes that the Buk missile system was removed to hide the evidence. He has had some tension with other separatist commanders in the past. It's unclear how much of that is factual, but those allegations coming out on Wednesday.
Roee Ruttenberg, thank you for the update live from Kiev.